Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a video on how I would advise someone who is single now that I'm married. I put on Instagram maybe about a month ago the idea of doing this video, and a lot of you guys took to it and you guys really were excited to see this video, so I'm finally filming it. Filming is become such a hard thing. It just takes so much time. I'm excited to do it. So let me just give you a very brief background of me before marriage. So from the age of 16, the Lord really put a desire on my heart to save myself for marriage, and I did mention this a little bit in my testimony video. You guys can watch that back as well just to get a better understanding of where I'm at. But yeah, my desire was to really save myself for my future husband, and that wasn't just my purity, but that was my heart as well. You'll hear in my testimony that my senior year I kind of lost sight of that, and then after that I had tons of advice to give to other girls who were single. And even though I was young and single, being from age 16, having a desire to be married and to save myself, it felt like a very long time. I always gave girls advice about being single, and we were walking this journey together. There's one girl specifically in my mind that I would always just encourage in her singleness, and we would walk through it together, and she really reminded me a lot of myself. She was a couple years younger. I just remember, I'm not wearing my wedding ring. This is probably a video that I should be wearing my wedding ring. As I was 19 and just meeting David, getting into a relationship with David is when I was connecting with this girl a lot and giving her advice as she was in high school, and she just also had a desire to find that person that the Lord had for her, and she had a huge desire to be married one day, and just was kind of struggling just as I did in high school, and as I did until just right before I met David. And a lot of the things I would encourage her with was I would tell her, and I would tell other girls who were single, just to wait for that guy. A huge thing that I was encouraging girls was to write a journal to your future spouse, and that did really help me. So once I started journaling to my future husband, which is now David, it really helped. It made me feel like I was writing to a real person, and it made David feel real to me, and that, man, I'm writing this journal entry and my husband is going to read this one day, and I gave that journal to David on our wedding day. And I would really encourage girls to write a journal to their future husband, to pray every day for their future husband. My advice is sort of the same, but definitely I can see a difference now that I'm married, and so I just want to touch on those things a little bit and give 3 things I would advise girls now that I am married. So let's get into those 3 things. The first thing is that there is no perfect one. So obviously, growing up as a Christian, I know that nobody's perfect. Hannah Montana said it right, guys. I knew that, I think that I still, as I was praying for my future husband, as I was writing journal entries to my future husband, I just had this idea that, man, when I get married, that's going to be the cure for everything. That's going to fix all of my problems. Even though mentally I knew that wasn't true, but in my heart, that just is what my heart was saying, was when you finally find that person, all of your problems will vanish, And that is not true at all. I think getting married, I was looking forward so much to being married, and I had this idea in my head of what my husband was going to be like, things that we were going to do together, and it's different. Your marriage is going to be different than what you imagine it to be. As a single girl, you do imagine what you will do with your future husband and what you'll do on your weekends, and you guys will spend your days watching Disney movies and drinking hot chocolate and all the Pinterest type stuff. And something is blinking. I don't know what that means. Or you guys will spend your days hiking and having picnics in the park, and that doesn't always happen. We live in a world where our best and our most favorite things are exemplified on social media, and it makes you think that's how all relationships are, and they're not. There are definitely couples who find their dream person. You know, that's what the Lord had intended for them. But there are some people who get married to someone that is completely different than them and completely different than what they had imagined. I would just encourage you now, anyone who is single, your husband is not going to be perfect. He's not going to be the person exactly down to a T who you imagined. Maybe he will be, and maybe the Lord will bless you like that, and that's great. But most of the time I hear that, like, oh, me and my husband are so different. How did the Lord, like, pair us, you know? And that definitely is mine and David's story. Like, I love him to death. I love our differences most of the time. It's just growing through those things. It's learning how to be different and how to compromise for each other and how to serve each other. But yeah, I just want to encourage you that your husband is not going to be perfect and he's not going to meet every single need of yours. Only the Lord can do that. And I think that was something that I really, like, had wrong. Even though I knew in my head that wasn't true, but in my heart, I was like, man, my husband's gonna be perfect. This is gonna be the perfect life, you know? And even just dating David, I knew, like, okay, this isn't gonna go the way that I thought. And that's fine. The Lord has a story for us, and he has a journey for us to go on, and it's gonna be amazing, and it's gonna be exactly how the Lord intended it to be. So that brings me to my second point, which is differences. As I was journaling to my future husband and praying for him, I would journal things like, I can't wait till we go on hikes with each other, and what I mentioned before, like watching Disney movies all day and like doing this and that. One huge thing that I took away from our premarital counseling, when we're single, we envision our marriage from one point of view. So I was envisioning my marriage from my point of view and what I wanted and what I desired, but I never imagined it from his point of view. And what if he's different? What if he doesn't like doing the things that I like to do? And I never imagined that. Again, I just want to clarify, I love David, I love my marriage, and I love that we have differences and we're learning through those things, and the Lord is growing us. He's pushing us out of our comfort zones. Like, there's things that he likes that I don't like, but I do them because I want to serve him, because I love him, and then vice versa. So I just want to clarify that I'm not complaining about my marriage. I love my marriage, and it's amazing. Even though we have differences that we may not like, it still is amazing. So David, like, does not like doing outdoorsy things, and he could probably spend every single day at the movies or in a coffee shop or at home. There are days that I like doing that, and I've learned to love movies because before I met David, I did not like going to the movies. And now I actually like it, and I like crave to go to the movies. But yeah, there definitely are differences between us. There's gonna be things that you like that your husband doesn't like, and you guys have to learn how to compromise for each other and how to love each other that way. That is a huge way to show someone that you love them, is like, I don't really like doing this, but I'm gonna do it because I know that she likes doing it or he likes doing it, and it makes him happy. So that makes me happy, and I want to do that. There also is an area where you're the only one serving, and that can become hard. And so just pray through how you guys can live with your differences and how you can work through your differences. Some people get blessed with someone who loves to do exactly what they like to do, and it's amazing. But you may have struggles in another area, you know. Differences is something that I definitely have learned, is like, it's not always going to be perfect, and you guys aren't always going to love the same thing, but that's an amazing journey to learn how you guys can serve each other in those areas. I hope all of this is making sense. I have just 3 points written down, but nothing in between, so I hope this is making sense and ministering to someone. So my third point kind of has to do with my second point. It still has to do with differences, but in a much bigger way. So you may meet someone who has a different desire for the future than you do, and that was definitely mine and David's story. So I never imagined my life outside of Vegas, if anything, like another state. I never saw myself really like living abroad, and I envisioned like this perfect Instagram marriage, and I'm going to be this YouTuber and Instagrammer, and he's going to be my Insta husband, you know, like, I totally imagine that. And David, like, is not even on social media. He has a Facebook, and that's it. He does not like being in videos or pictures. It's taken him a lot just to help me with my pictures. I don't think he fully understood my blog and my desire for this ministry, because it's a ministry. I am, like, everything that I do ends up reflecting the Lord, and that is my goal, is just to exemplify the Lord. So he didn't really understand that this was something that I felt called to as a ministry, but now he fully supports it and is fully behind it. I never imagined my life being abroad or ever imagined going to Mexico, but we are planting a church in Mexico City next year, and that has been a huge thing that we've had to see eye to eye on. And I knew going into this marriage that one day we were going to move to Mexico City, and I thought I had a lot of time to kind of be okay with that idea, but it is turning out that we are leaving in like 6 months. Very quickly I've had to okay, I'm not going to have the life that I thought I was going to have. We're going to be living in Mexico. And thankfully, if you guys saw my Mexico City vlog, it is so beautiful and nothing like I thought. Very modern, very urban, and it's an amazing city. So I'm excited actually to live there, and it's going to be a huge adventure. But that's to say that you may not have the same end goal as your husband, and the Lord is going to bring you guys together on one mission and one goal. That was something that my mentor was really encouraging me with when I was praying for David. I was praying and seeking confirmation if I was supposed to marry David and be with him. I was so focused on his desire to go to Mexico City one day, and my mentor, well, she's not just my mentor, she's just my friend. My friend was telling me not to think so much about what his calling is, because I'll never be called to a person's calling, but I'll be called to a person. So start praying just for David and forget his calling. So that's when the Lord confirmed David to me, and I was like, you know what? I don't ever see myself going to Mexico City, but I'm going to trust the Lord is going to bring our goals and our desires as one, and that's exactly what he's done and he is still doing. So yes, I just want to encourage you, if you are in this position, that one, he's not going to be perfect, you're not going to be perfect, you guys are not going to satisfy each other and meet every need. Only the Lord can do that. There's going to be differences. You may have this person thought up. It's not always going to happen that way. It can, and that's going to be amazing, but if not, if you guys don't like the same things, that's still amazing, and you guys are still going to learn each other and see eye to eye and learn to love what each other loves. And 3, his desires may not be your desires, and his end goal might not be your end goal, but the Lord will bring you guys together on one vision. And my biggest encouragement is just be open to who the Lord has for you. Don't have your mind set on one certain kind of person, one certain kind of personality, and likes and dislikes. Be open and know that the Lord has a perfect plan for you and that person that he has for you. And for girls who are single now, yes, keep journaling to your future husband and keep praying for him. Just know that the Lord has his perfect timing for you. I had to come to that place where I was like, you know what? I'm never going to be okay with being single, but I am going to trust that the Lord knows his timing. He knows when to bring this person into my life. And I kind of just gave up on having that. I was sick over it, oh, when am I going to meet him, and I just gave up. I was like, you know what, it's just going to happen in the Lord's timing. Okay, so I thought of a 4th thing. So in your singleness right now, you hear all the time to enjoy your singleness, be thankful for it, because when you're with someone, you have to think about them. You can't just think about yourself. And I remember being told that all the time, and I was like, yeah, it's easy for you to say because you have someone. It's true. Honestly, once you get married, you can't just buy something when you want to buy it. You can't just go to a coffee shop by yourself in the morning, because now you have a husband that you have to make breakfast for, or he might want to hang out with you that day because you're married. And so there's a lot of things that you just can't do anymore when you're married. And that is a new season of life, but enjoy your singleness now. But I would say that yes, in your singleness, do the things that you want to do. If you have a desire to do a semester abroad, do it. Figure out how to do it. Save the money and do it, even if it's scary, because once you're married, you can't always just do those things. So that is the fourth thing that I thought of that I wanted to encourage you with. And if you are single and if you're in that place, then I would just think about those things, and yes, still journal to your husband, still pray for him, enjoy your singleness. I know you hear that all the time, but honestly enjoy it. And that, I think, is all of my advice. If you guys like these kinds of videos, let me know, and let me know in the comments what other kinds of videos you want to see. If you guys want to see now marriage advice or anything, you guys let me know. If you guys like this video, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new here, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!